Hello and welcome to the Best Practice interview series. Hi, I'm Michael Lysenblatt from Bounce Back Fast. This interview series is all about talking to people who have successfully implemented ideas that have improved their business in some way. I have today Lou Costible. Now, Lou was invited specifically by Joe Sirianni. He said, mate, you've got to talk to Lou about what he's done with outsourcing. So I want to welcome first Lou.
Hi, Michael. How are you this morning?
I'm really well, buddy. Yourself?
Yes, fine. I'm really great.
Now,
Friday.
Yeah, right, it's always a good thing. Yeah. Now, when I spoke to Joe, he said, look, talk to Lou because what he's done with outsourcing has changed his business. Talk to me because you've recently moved across and outsourced your central admin to Di Webster. How has outsourcing your business impacted what you do? Sorry, outsourcing your admin, yeah.
Yeah, well, Michael, it's just been such a great thing that I've done. And that's, I suppose, really something that I wanted to do quite a while ago, but I was always scared to do it. But what it's done for me, it's really freed up my time. Not only freed up my time, I'm sort of working about 3.5 days a week now, where I can have some time with my family. And it enables me to see more clients and spend more time with my clients rather than having to worry about, whether a loan is getting to settlement or something's missing in that file or what. So it's really freed me up a hell of a lot. And I'd say that, the time that's freed me up is somewhere in the vicinity of 3 to 4 hours a day,
That's phenomenal. I mean, considering that for most people, we know that we are our business, to have that much extra time is quite a gift. What made you decide, was there a turning point that made you decide to outsource your admin?
Yeah, 4:30 in the morning. Trying to catch up with files and trying to submit the applications to the bank. Because most of your day is taken up seeing clients, working out the right deals for them and things like that, communicating with the banks, communicating with solicitors, and you just don't get the time during the day. The phone doesn't stop. So here I was at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning trying to catch up because of the amount of work that I have. So thanks to Terry Jewson, he suggested that maybe I should be looking at something else, and that's when I decided. Well, let's make the change now and get on with it.
Yeah, and I think you've made a really good point there that you've got to have this fine balance between doing the work and bringing the work in. And I know that a lot of the message that I get across to the Smartline guys is about bringing the work in. You need no clients is no business. But as you've said, you've got to be able to do the work. But if you're up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning getting that stuff done, you're burning yourself out. So it's a very smart move that you made, realizing that your primary role is about being the face of the business to bring the work in, but you yourself don't have to be the processor of that work. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And one of the things that I found is that, that is the correct way to do it. But being an old banker and you want to control everything, it's a little bit hard to let go of things. But you just got to do that because it's important, like you said, is to go out and look at your customers, bring more customers in, which grows your business, of course.
Yeah. So what does Di do for you specifically? How does she help you?
Well, Di is just an angel from heaven, as I say. She really does all the back office in regards to sending the file to the bank and getting the loan approved at the bank and then following right through to settlement with the solicitors and the bank and all that. But in particular, I get to see the client and I decide what we're going to do with that client, and the paperwork would be all put together in regards to how we would send it to the bank. I would then just send that to Di, and Di just takes over from there.
So how would you brief Di to hand this file over? Is there a particular process you've got?
Well, yes, there is. It's a matter of just making sure that you put the file together the way you'd want it to go to the bank, because it's not up to Di to decide whether it's going to be a fixed rate or whether it's going to be a variable or split or anything like that. So you've got to actually put it all together in regards to how we want to look after this client and how we're going to go to the bank. So how I liaise with her is very simple. I don't have to, okay, because I send her an email with the file attached to it in regards to all the documentation. So she's got everything in regards to the checklist. Okay, so she doesn't have to worry about anything missing or anything like that. And plus there's a diary note. The diary note is very specific in regards to what I want the bank to do with that client. and she follows that diary note to the just to the law, and then she submits it, and then it's communication by email. We occasionally have a bit of a chat on the phone. Yeah, I get to see her, and the reason I get to see her is to take her to lunch.
Nice.
And that's about all. And that's how simple it is, to be honest with you. It's just a very easy process. We've developed it with Di. We work well together in regards to she knows what I want, how I want it, and I know how she wants it in regards to the file, so that she doesn't have to worry about, there's this missing, that's missing. It's not her responsibility to make sure that I've got a pay slip or not. It's my responsibility from the outset when I see the customer.
So
I won't submit that file to Di unless I've got all the information I need.
Yeah. So
and that's what you should do for the bank as well.
So in getting this process set up with Di, you basically sat down with her and said, here's how I like to work, what do you need from me, and develop that sort of process together.
Very much so, very much so. You know, when we met initially, I said, okay, well, this is the way I work, and this is what I want, and she explained to me how she goes about things and all that, and it just really came together. Okay, it was something that she wanted to do the way I wanted it, and I wanted her to do it the way I wanted it as well. And at the end of the day, the customer, it's seamless to the customer. The customer doesn't even know Di exists, or they do, because I tell them that she does, right? But from their point of view, it's just one of my staff looking after my file, and they know that I've got control of that, you know.
So do you need to explain outsourcing to your customers? I mean, if you were to explain it, how would you explain it, or do you not need to do that?
No, look, I suppose I don't really need to explain it, but I bring Di into the picture in the sense that I tell them the process that we're going to do to get their application approved and get their house, settled and all that sort of stuff. And I say to them that Di is my client service manager, and she will be liaising with them by email or by phone from time to time as well. But the buck stops with me. If there's something that they need or something that's gone astray or something like that, they contact me. I'm their primary source of contact. But I say to them that Di really helps me to get that file process right through. And yes, they'll get emails, they'll probably get a phone call or something like that, but most of the time it's just an email to sort of say, hi Michael, we're pleased to advise you that your settlement's been booked for Friday at 2 o'clock, and we'll be in touch with you shortly after that. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
We didn't want to make it a difficult process. And from the point of view of the customer's seen me, they know that the file belongs with me, they belong to me, and I will look after them the best I can, but they understand that I can't do everything, and Di helped me out with all of that stuff. And to be honest with you, Michael, I was just on leave just recently, and Di took over my files, took over my phone, took over my emails, and when I got back, a few of my clients actually got some box of chocolates and said, you better give these to Di. She does a better job than you do. And I thought, look, I don't like hearing that, but, just joking. But you know what I'm saying, is that you come back and you hear that and you go to see a client and they give you a box of chocolates to take back to
that's nice.
Di. You know that Di's been looking after you in every possible way.
It's almost, that's a testament of a really good small business, one that you can walk away from and it works in your absence as well, if not better, than when you're actually there. And even though you are still the primary client relationship person with your clients, you are the face to them, with you being away, the business doesn't move or doesn't lose a tick around the clock. It still goes exactly as it does before.
You're right, and that was one of the hardest things that I found when I had to let go, because I'm thinking, well, what if something goes wrong? And and I suppose I'm fortunate that Di is a very experienced person. She's a very caring person as well. She likes to have things in control, and I suppose that's something that I like as well. And I know that if I go away, or if I leave something with her, it's done. And it's actually done better than me, because she follows it actually through. I'd be following it through, to be honest with you, on the run. Yeah. And that's what I said before, because you just haven't got the time, and you're just following everything on the run, and sometimes you miss something. And whereas Di is very, very particular and in regards to diarising, following up. Sometimes she tells me something's happening. I'm thinking, geez, I should pick that up. And it's because she uses the diary system more than I do in regards to it, because I'm just busy, and you let things go, little things you think let go, but they're little things that are important to the customer, okay, and not so much that you think, that's just a little thing that don't worry about it. It's an important thing for the customer,
Yeah, I think people listening to this would be getting excited about the possibilities if they were again to outsource their admin and what it could mean to their business and the change of lifestyle and the change of leverage they could give themselves. Is the process expensive?
No, just no. I've actually asked Di that she should review some of those fees. To be honest with you, look, we do let's say we do a loan for, I don't know, let's say 400,000, okay, and the bank will pay us, I don't know, let's say 0.5, so you can work that out, what the commission is and all that sort of stuff. Well, Di just charges $50 to get the loan approved in principle. That's just for a pre-approval, and then if it goes right through to settlement, if the client buys and it goes right through to settlement, she'll add another $150 to it. Okay, so the process is $200, and when you look at the scheme of things at $200, well, you look at it, you think, well, geez, you're getting a good upfront from the bank, okay, and to give $200 to Di, well, that's pretty. I say that's, it could be a little bit more, and I've said to her maybe she should look at that, and I'll probably start to push her to do that a little bit as well. But they're things that she has to look at. I suppose she doesn't want to, she's starting to grow her business, and that's all about doing the right thing by everybody. And
I guess for someone who wants to get ahead or grow their business and they're out there working hard, they're talking to people, they're bringing business in, being able to leverage themselves and duplicate themselves is probably a really important thing for them to be able to do. And this is one way of doing that. Tell me, Lou, were there any major hurdles to overcome, any challenges in getting this set up or facilitating this?
Well, I think it comes down, Michael, down to preparation and clear direction of how you want to go, and what you want to achieve, and how you want it to achieve, and how you want it to work. And as I said earlier, the initial discussions that I had with Di, we sat down, we had a good chat about how I worked. I showed her my files and all of that. So we spent some good time up front in regards to how we wanted to work and how she wanted to work and what she expected from me and what I expected from her. And once we got it out of the way, well, there was no hurdles. It was all, just downstream. You just downstream going really easy. There's no paddling upstream, I can tell you. So I can say that, I haven't experienced any hurdles. There's been a few hurdles with IT, but that's a hurdle that I could have come across whether I was doing it, with something going wrong with a file being moved over to her because of the system, something went wrong with the system. But they're just little things. But I see a hurdle where it's a customer problem, not an IT problem. That's internal.
Yeah.
I really don't give a damn about that. It's the hurdle with the customer. The customer is the very most important thing to me, and I must say it's the most important thing for Di as well. So as long as we don't have to have any hurdles there, I don't care if we have to jump over Joe Sirianni or Chris Eric or whatever. We'll do that because it's internal. And the good thing about it is that when we have that hurdle internally, it's fixed because that's what they're there for. The people in Sydney are there to help us do that, and they know that there's a client behind it, and they move on that pretty quickly. So from that point of view, I'd say I haven't had any hurdles. Providing you stick to good preparation and good understanding and clear directions, I don't think you've got any hurdles to go through.
No, so now in my mind I know that Joe Sirianni is a hurdle, so I know that now.
Yeah, you want to see him in life from us.
No, Joe, I didn't say that. He said that.
I said that. He knows that. He knows that.
Lou, last question. I mean, I think this is a fairly obvious one. Would you recommend this outsourcing to others, and at what stage should they be doing this?
Well, I've already recommended quite a few people to Di, and she's taken on the likes of Sharon and Sally, and she's looked at a few others as well, and I think Nick and Terry that have just become new franchisees, and also they came and spoke to me about the process and how I went about it, and what I thought, and I said, look, if you don't go with Di, and if you don't do it from the outset, I said, you're really doing what I did. I said, it just becomes too much for you, and I should have done it earlier too as well. And I think that, to be honest with you, the sooner they do it, the better. It doesn't matter if it's a startup. Straight away they become a new franchisee, and they want to, if they get the process right from the outset, and even if they are a new franchisee, what they'll find is that they'll have more time to go out and source business, rather than concentrate on getting a file through to settlement and having to ring solicitors because the solicitor hasn't sent a transfer of land, a copy of transfer of land to the bank and all that sort of stuff. And that takes a lot of time and just a lot of wasted time as well. So I'd be saying that do it as quickly as you possibly can. Of course you've got to feel comfortable with it yourself in regards to costs and so on. But if you can tick all those boxes and take somebody on like Di, But having said that, I own her. She can't take any more people.
So find your own sort of thing.
Yeah, just kidding. And Di is very, very good about that. I can joke about that, but being seriously, is that she's very, very particular on who she takes on in regards to how their files are, and she doesn't want to take on somebody that just hasn't got the right process and all that. If it doesn't meet her expectations in regards to the process, because one of the things you've got to remember, she's also running a business. And if she's running a business wasting her time because my file is incomplete or in a shambles, well, why does she have to do? What does she have to do? And I've said that to her so many times. I've said to her, if you don't think that the file's up to standard, throw it back. And because it's her business as well. But she's not there to clean up my mess or clean up somebody else's mess.
Yeah.
She's very good on that.
So that you really know, you've gotten good value from this. And I think the point you've highlighted is that your time is your currency in this business. You've got to really invest it wisely. Lou, I want to thank you so much for being part of this interview series, the Best Practice interview series. It's again, you've shared some fantastic ideas and some great practical tips for what people can do to start outsourcing their admin. I wish you every success in what you're doing. And for listeners, you're welcome to contact Lou if you've got questions, but otherwise get your backside in gear and start outsourcing your admin as well. Thanks for being part of the series, Lou. Cheers.
Thank you, Michael. Cheers.
Cheers.